നമസ്കാരം, കൂടിക്കാഴ്ചയിലേക്ക് സ്വാഗതം. ഇന്ന് കൂടിക്കാഴ്ചയിൽ ഞാൻ പരിചയപ്പെടുത്തുന്നത് ഒരു സവിശേഷ വ്യക്തിയെയാണ്. അദ്ദേഹം ഇന്നേ വരെ മലയാളത്തിൽ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു മാധ്യമത്തിൻ്റെ മുൻപിൽ ക്യാമറയിൽ വന്നിട്ടുള്ള ആളല്ല. അദ്ദേഹം മാധ്യമ പ്രവർത്തകനാണ്. കശ്മീരിൽ ജനിച്ച് ദില്ലിയിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന ഒരു മാധ്യമ പ്രവർത്തകനാണ് ശ്രീ രാജ മുനീബ്. ശ്രീ രാജ മുനീബ് ദേശീയ പ്രാധാന്യമുള്ള വിഷയങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ച്, കശ്മീരിലെയും ഇന്ത്യയുടെ വിവിധ ഭാഗങ്ങളിലെയും മുസ്ലിം തീവ്രവാദത്തെക്കുറിച്ച്, അതേപോലെയുള്ള വിഷയങ്ങളിൽ നിരവധി ലേഖനങ്ങൾ എഴുതിയിട്ടുള്ള ആളുമാണ്. അതുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട റിസർച്ചിൻ്റെ ഭാഗമായി അദ്ദേഹം ഇന്ത്യ ഒട്ടാകെ സഞ്ചരിക്കുന്ന വ്യക്തിയുമാണ്. ശ്രീ രാജ മുനീബ് നമ്മളോട് സംസാരിക്കുന്നു. അദ്ദേഹം തത്വമയിയുടെ ഒരു പഴയ സുഹൃത്തുമാണ്. അദ്ദേഹം നമ്മളോട് സംസാരിക്കുന്നു ദേശീയ പ്രാധാന്യമുള്ള വിഷയങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ച്, ഇന്ത്യയുടെ സുരക്ഷയെക്കുറിച്ച്, നമ്മൾ നേരിടുന്ന വെല്ലുവിളികളെക്കുറിച്ച്. ശ്രീ രാജ മുനീബ്, താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച് ഫോർ ബീയിങ് വിത്ത് us today. Welcome to Kerala and welcome to Tatwamayi.
Thank you so much. It is always a pleasure to be here, sir. It's an honor.
Thank you. So let us start our conversation by concentrating on the multiple threats that India is facing. As we have already discussed in person, you know, India is a country that faces a lot of threats from different parts in different kinds, from different groups and in different regions. So as a person always focusing on this aspect, do you think that the situation has improved post 2014?
Improved in a sense, yes. The national security perspective, you remember before 2014, terror attacks was something which used to happen very often.
Every day. Mm-hmm.
We remember Mumbai terror attacks. Yeah. But then there used to be bomb blasts somewhere or the other. We had Naxalism, which was completely out of control, you know, in central India.
Exactly.
And some parts of South India as well. Then you had terrorism, which was raging, and separatism, which was raging in Kashmir. Right. So the internal security from that aspect was very fragile at that time. What has changed from 2014 is that we have seen that there is stability when it comes to national security. For example, let's talk about Maoists first. Right. Today, Maoism is almost at its end. We don't see that kind of violence from them. We don't see that kind of what they used to do on the ground, the total control they had. Today, Maoism is almost over from India.
True.
You know, it's surviving in very, very small pockets. Same way, if you look at the terrorism aspects in the country, if you look at the data, there is a huge reduction.
Yeah.
Right? We don't see frequent bomb blasts happening. We don't see terror threats becoming so big. If we see Jammu and Kashmir, it has stabilized a lot. What Jammu and Kashmir, I remember from between 2010 till 2014 until 2018, right? It was very, very bad. The situation was extremely bad. Today, it is completely opposite. First time, I think, for the last 6, 7, 8 years, Jammu and Kashmir has seen some stable peace and some peaceful atmosphere. You don't have strikes. You know, you don't have separatist politics.
Stone pelting.
You don't have stone pelting. Absolute zero instances of stone pelting since abrogation of Article 370. So life has normalized. So if we see from that aspect, yes, things are better. But that means the threats are high. Because, you know, the more you stabilize the country, your enemy tries to disrupt it more and more.
True.
So the threats are very, very high. Right? And it is not only from Pakistan. We have multilateral threats. We are growing as an economy. The Chinese don't like it, so they play their own games, right? We are seeing what is happening in Myanmar.
Yeah.
We are seeing what is happening in Bangladesh. Bangladesh at the moment is very, very bad. And the problem with Bangladesh is that, you know, with Pakistan, our border is usually all fenced.
True. Bangladesh is not
there
like
is
that.
no fencing. There is easy crossing, and then you have so many illegal immigrants. And the biggest problem is that these immigrants who come in, they all identify as Bengalis.
That's
right.
true.
Now, for a non-Bengali person, let's say if me in Delhi, you in Kerala, if they speak, we'll think they're speaking Bengali, but they're not. They're either Rohingyas or they're Bangladeshis. They speak the same language, but in a different way. But they're able to pass it. We can't make out. So that is where the threat is. And what we have seen after Sheikh Hasina's departure, the kind of surge of radicalization, anti-India, anti-Hindu hatred in Bangladesh, that is scary because that is what terror organizations thrive on.
That's true. Right. Coming back to Kashmir, you are mentioning about Kashmir. You are a person who was born and brought up in Srinagar, if I understand correctly. So definitely we can say that all Muslims are not terrorists, and many are pro-India and all. But what has been your personal journey? You born into that community in a place so radicalized. How could you come out of that and openly take a stand against terrorism?
See, the sad story of Kashmir is that whenever something wrong happened, people remained silent. So, for example, if the terrorists came and killed my neighbor, just an example, I remained silent. I never said this has happened. And there were instances when people even came out. There was in 90s, there is South Kashmir, Mirwais was assassinated by Hizbul Mujahideen.
Right.
People did come out on the streets. Hizbul Mujahideen put 500 of its gunmen in his funeral to make sure nobody raises slogan against them. So there was intimidation. Then there was willful silence. So it takes a lot to, call spade a spade. And unless and until I believe that if you really want to work for peace, because for me, my whole journey in Kashmir has been to bring some kind of peace, wean away the youth from violence, right? Get them back, because the world is growing, right? You cannot live in, Stone Age throwing stones all your life. If you want to improve, if you want to become better, then you have to be part of the globe. You have to be part of the country. You cannot do it in isolation.
True.
So for that, the first thing is call out what spade is. What is right, what is wrong. You cannot color violence by saying, it has a reason behind it.
Two quick questions, if I may. One, you said that in Mirwais' funeral, Hizbul put 500 fighters or terrorists to ensure that there is. Will Hizbul or any other organization be able to do that today?
No, absolutely not. They don't have the numbers.
They don't have
Today, Hizbul Mujahideen doesn't even have 20 people on the ground.
Okay. Number two, you mentioned about the Stone Age and stone pelting and all. Yes, the incidents are very less now, and the protests are not there, strikes are not there. But has a real realization come in across the table in the minds of people that yes, this is the path we should take?
Young people, yes. So if you look at, I will tell you, till 2018, what I used to see is on the streets every Friday, every Wednesday, college students coming out pelting stones.
Right.
Strikes, hartals happening, and then they asking for mass promotions.
Right.
Today what has happened is that culture has stopped. Today the young generation is into sports, they're into reel makings, right? They are now trying to see what is happening with the globe and how to be a part of that. So today they believe that their stake in peace is much higher than their stake in violence.
True.
So that change and that realization in the younger generation is still there. But to say that realization has no, it will take time, because 30 years of violence.
But you are hopeful.
Yes, another 10 years if Kashmir goes through a peaceful transition, absolutely, because the couple of generations which the younger generations, because Kashmir is 52% young population, they have a stake in peace. And the more and more the younger generation comes forward, because I remember from 1990 till, let's say, till 2018, we had 2,130 days, which is about 7.5 years lost to hartals,
strikes,
or curfews. So, 7.5 years means a lot. Means no business, no school, no livelihood, nothing at all.
It's a significant portion in the life of a person.
Yes, it is. And people don't realize it. So you're already 7.5 years behind of where you should be today.
Right.
So I think that now what will happen is people are catching up with it. People are realizing peace is giving them dividend.
And a lot of infrastructure development activities also taking place.
Yes, a lot of infrastructure development has happened. The roads are better. Before they used to dig roads, for protest and all that. Now nothing of that sort happens. The roads are better. Government services are better. There is accountability.
True.
Right. Before it never used to be. Corruption is less. Before MLA used to be the king of the place.
Right.
Now it is not like that. Law and order is much better. Kashmir is one of the safest places for the tourists. Right. There is no fear for a tourist now whether he will be stone pelting will happen or something will happen. So people are gaining because there is record footfall of tourism. More than 2 crore tourists came. So people are now people are thinking that yes, there is a genuine opportunity to live in peace. We have lost a lot to violence.
I started by asking you about your personal journey. Have you lost any dear and near ones in terrorism?
Yes.
You have
Quite
encountered any such incident?
Yes. I've lost in my family. I've lost my uncle. I've lost some of my very close friends to terrorist attacks. Yes.
Is there a chance that this reversion of Hindu Pandits, coming back, is that situation going to be normal? Hindus staying in Srinagar without any fear, just like what they did 2-3 decades
See, what
back.
happened is there were families who were living. There are about 800 families which are still living in Kashmir. In 2022-23, they tried to disrupt that. They killed about 28 people, from Hindu and Sikh community in Kashmir. But after that, that group was eliminated. That threat has not come across. It will take time. Now, there are two reasons behind it. One is most of them either sold their land or their land got occupied. So even if they come back, where do they go? The government is building infrastructure for them.
Right.
Second is purely economics. Right? If you look at most of the Kashmiri Pandits, they have either got jobs, they are settled. And to leave your job and to come to Kashmir and start something new is not going to be easy. So I think, yes, but there is going to be revival. But I think there is still apprehension that should we permanently move back or should we not permanently move back? I think they also want to buy some time out to see how things stabilize
go.
and more peaceful.
Naturally, it's a question of survival.
Yes, it's a question of survival. You don't want to put your family to risk. So I think it will happen, but it will take time. It will take time.
As you know, Kashmir is not the only place which is affected by Islamic radicalism in India. There are many other places, including Kerala. You have been visiting Kerala, different parts, seeing people, meeting them, asking questions. So many people say that Kerala is the hotbed of terrorism. Silent, but it's really active here. And some people here say that it's just propaganda. As an outsider who has come from Delhi and seen the things, what is your honest feedback?
See, my honest feedback is it is not propaganda. And that is based on data and facts. Let's remember when ISIS was in control in Syria, the maximum number of people who went from India to join ISIS were from Kerala, right? That ideology is there. And if you look at radicalization in Kerala, sometimes I see it in pockets so hard that even Kashmir looks very liberal to me.
Really?
Yes, it does.
You mean to say that some pockets are worse than Kashmir?
Yes, in terms of ideology, yes.
But you don't have any incidents. That is what people always point out. Kashmir, there are killings. The minorities cannot live with confidence there. But here, there is nothing like that.
If you remember the PFI 2047 document, the way they wanted to take over was not through mass killings. Kashmir has an international connotation to it, which is Pakistan.
Right.
Pakistan wanted to perpetrate terrorism. And that is what they fed on. In Kerala, Pakistan, terrorism is not there. But what they have perpetrated is an extreme ideology.
True.
To an extent where, you basically slowly expand yourself in areas without the use of violence. Right? And when you reach a critical number, then if you come onto street violence,
it will work.
It's natural. It will work. So I think it's going through that phase, where they're slowly working on their model and, taking over, economically, they want to take over. Culturally, they already have.
The food culture.
I was talking to somebody in Malappuram, and I asked him, I said, you all wear this Arabic dress. So he said, this is cultural exchange because we are all,
we all came from Arabia.
No, we have relatives in Arabia and all that. I said, okay, if it is an exchange, then tell me which Arab is wearing the mundu and the shirt. It is not an exchange. It is an adoption.
It's a one-side adoption.
The problem today is either you have boards which are in Arabic or you have boards in English. There is no Malayalam. Why so? Aren't you proud of your Malayalam? You're a Malayali. You're a Malayalam. Why are you not writing it in Malayalam?
That's a priority, what you are really. Your first identity is the issue.
Yes.
So here Malayali comes, I think Malayalam language, culture, everything comes at the bottom of that list.
But that is the worrying sign, no? Because if you can forego your culture and adopt a foreign culture and associate yourself with the foreign culture, then how are you associating with the land?
That's a question. And you feel that PFI, it has been, the organization has been prohibited by law. So do you think that it has helped or it has slowed down the activities or?
See, what happens with these organizations, and it's a pan-India thing. In Kashmir, we had Jamaat-e-Islami.
Yeah.
Right. They were complete Pakistan's lackey. Hurriyat Conference. Right. The government banned them. Some of them came into election this time also.
Yeah.
The organization gets banned. The ideology doesn't get banned. People who are associated with that kind of mindset and that kind of ideology, they might not do on a platform of PFI, but they can go and sit somewhere and still talk the same ideology which they have been taught or they were doing under PFI. So we have to make a distinction there. Banning an organization is good. That means cutting out funds. They are not able to hold big rallies or not able to do big events. But when it comes to, this thing is very dynamic. So what they also do is they span out and they do it in smaller numbers.
Right.
At individual levels.
Right.
So that impact might not be there. That big, crowd impact might not be there. But
slowly, silently.
But you're doing your work slowly and silently and out of the radar now. Now you don't know who is going where, speaking in what mosque, speaking in what school, speaking in what college. You don't know what is happening. This is exactly what Jamaat-e-Islami did in Kashmir. They had teachers, they had doctors, they would sit at their workplace, they would, perpetrate their ideology. Same thing happens with PFI.
So that same level of terror threat remains. That is what you are going.
Always. Okay, let me say something. I was shocked to see that Hamas had a footing here. Right?
Yes.
See, there is a difference. Everybody has sympathy towards Gaza, Palestinians. Nobody wants to take that away. But sympathy for Palestinians doesn't mean you will have open support for Hamas. You don't even know what Hamas has done to the Muslims in Middle East. Right? How brutal they are. How many Gazans they have killed. Right? You are basically supporting Hamas because you think, they're protecting Gaza, which is not the case. They're a part of the problem there.
Right.
There are Palestinians who are upset with them. And you cannot mix two issues. And when you openly bring people who are perpetrating terror in the Middle East and portray them as heroes, that tells you that you are hitting on an ideology where you want to glorify that kind of ideology on the ground.
You feel that it's done on purpose, not that being so far away, Keralites are, just bringing both together or not seeing the difference.
No. It is purposeful. It is purposeful because how do you recruit for terrorism? This is how you recruit. It is not that, they're trying to bring together. Everybody knows what's happening in the world. So it is a deliberate attempt to, push a particular violent ideology, to back out a particular violent ideology. I expected this from PFI. I never expected this from Muslim League.
That is what I was coming to. You think that Muslim League is also slowly getting radicalized in Kerala?
See, the problem
not
is that...
Not slowly, maybe.
Yeah, the problem is that the radical space which the PFI left, now Muslim League wants to show that, no, we are better than PFI or we are as good Muslims, as radical Muslims as them. So they want to occupy that space. Right, so this is the problem, what happens in democracy. That once you normalize violence in a society or an ideology, violent ideology, you want to occupy that space also and say we represent this as well. Right? That's what I said. The problem today is with the Muslim world, they don't understand the difference between Palestine and terrorism. They mix the two and they think both are the same.
Yeah,
Standing up for Palestine doesn't mean you have to stand for Hamas.
Exactly.
You can still stand for Palestine and oppose Hamas. And that is how I think that line is blurred. And unless until that line doesn't...
you are expressing a very serious concern regarding Muslim League. Because Muslim League in Kerala is supposed to be, or is considered as a very mainstream party, very moderate party, ready to take over Kerala. Even if a Muslim chief minister from Muslim League is a possibility. So you are saying that Muslim League is trying to occupy the space left vacant by the PFI and a terror organization.
Politically, SDPIs, they want to take over SDPI space. Yes. See, this is what we saw in Kashmir. If you remember PDP, Mehbooba Mufti. her whole politics is based on separatism. It is on Pakistan. It is on separatism. It is about, giving concessions to people who have been violent on the ground. And she has done that when she was a chief minister.
Okay.
She literally had a clash because NIA wanted to arrest somebody, and she sent officers saying, no, don't arrest him, let him go. This whole separatist politics, once it gets into the ground, you cannot, you cannot say that this is a space and we should take it. You should try to say that, no, this is not the right kind of politics for our people. This should not be allowed. Any kind of separatism or, violent exclusivism should not be allowed and be mainstreamed. Because once you mainstream it, then all political parties were asked to cover that space. No, even if it is 2% vote. Why would they let it go? It's important.
So you mean that the situation in Kerala is very grave, and despite there are no violent incidents, it's only a matter of time.
Look, the violent incidents are not there, but it's the ideology that travels.
Yeah.
Right? Now look at way things are. The PFI was connected from Kerala till Assam.
Yeah.
There were links, right? And I already has it.
Yes.
The point is, how long before, Keralites turn to violence again? What if tomorrow ISIS finds a territory in Afghanistan or in Pakistan somewhere? How many people from South India are willing to travel to that place? What happens if tomorrow Syria ISIS comes back? This Caliphate whole idea comes back. Then how many people are ready to go and join them? You need to have the ways and means to do that. That doesn't mean that, because you don't have it, the state is preventing it. So you're not able to do it. You're not able to do it. But tomorrow, given an opportunity, I'm pretty sure there will be a few who would say, yes,
exactly.
Good, we want to do this. Absolutely.
There are two other incidents in recent past, two terror incidents that shocked the nation. One was Pahalgam and another was Delhi blast. So if definitely you must have studied about that, researched about Pahalgam. So Pahalgam, in the first 1 hour, people blamed Pakistan-sponsored terrorism, and there the matter ended. Nobody is talking about those who helped these separatists or terrorists or this network who are residents of India or residents in India. Do you think that that kind of help is limited to Kashmir or even beyond Kashmir it is there?
No, first of all, without any local support, no foreign terrorist can operate in the country.
Including Kashmir?
Including Kashmir. Kashmir at one point of time had, you can say, supporters on every nook, corner and street, every village.
Achha.
Today, that pocket has really shrunk.
Yeah.
As I said, there are still people who believe in violence. There are still people who believe in terrorism. There are still ecosystems which are working as OGWs, right? And those people are the ones who help these terrorists get into Pahalgam, do the Reiki, bring them there and carry out the terror attacks. They were caught by the police after the investigation, right?
Right.
So yes, the OGW network, what we call overground network, is always there. Whether it is, before it used to be very big, today it is very small. It is shrinking. Because the way now, we are strict against terrorism in Kashmir, people see that the cost is very big to pay because your property gets seized.
Yeah.
You go to jail for life. NIA takes custody of you. It is no longer a politician calling and saying, oh, he's my boy, he did a mistake, let him go, it's okay. Not that nonsense is happening anymore.
It used to happen like that.
Yeah, yes. With stone pelting, a lot used to happen. Police used to pick up stone pelters, then politicians used to say, let him go. It's okay. One time mistake, no problem. It's okay. Next time.
And they used to leave.
Obviously, you know how politics work. So that is why that ecosystem continued, no? Because they had political patronage. The politicians also in from that. Opposition wala was happy. That is how it works. So yes, this OGW network is present everywhere. Right? In Delhi blast, if we talk about, these boys, look at the way they procured that 3,000 kg of
it's not a very it's not a small amount by any standard.
You can buy in 10 kgs, 15 kgs. Or that lady who was sitting in Hyderabad, the doctor, who had a AK-47 in her car, AK-72. Right? Yeah. So these are the networks you have to look for. Then there are people who funded them. Some might have funded them just for that. Some might have funded them thinking that, no, they are doing some good work.
Right.
Because they raised funds locally.
Right.
Right. The villages where this doctor was living, Adil, right? I'm pretty sure they would have seen something odd with him. If you have that kind of radicalization, you have that kind of mindset, it comes out. You can make out. When you're sitting with a person, you can make out. It is not that he can be very
Casual and
casual about
normal.
it and normal about it. He will follow a certain pattern. He will follow a certain way. So you can make out that something is not right with this person. But they chose silence, or maybe they accept it. So any terror attack which happens always has a local hand into it. Nobody in India can come and do a terror attack and go back without any local support. The local support may be small, maybe big, maybe very, very small, is always there. Same happened in the case of Delhi. Same happened in the case of Pahalgam. Or any terror attack which
Do
have been failed.
you think that Delhi blast had a foreign handler or any foreign connection that has been established in the investigation so far?
Yes. It was one of the handlers was sitting in Turkey.
Turkey?
Yes.
Oh,
So one of the handlers was sitting in Turkey. He was handling this whole terror network through Turkey.
oh.
Turkey is a hub today with
Yeah.
ISI, with Pakistan.
Yeah.
So
Even
a lot
our
of
PFI friends went there all the way to
PFI went there.
Yeah.
Qatar, Turkey, everywhere.
Istanbul.
Turkey is literally in hand in glove with ISI. So a lot of ISI operatives, and not only as terrorism, even in information warfare, we'll see a lot of them sitting in Turkey and working from Turkey.
Right.
So Turkey is a hub.
Right.
So this handler was also sitting in Turkey
And operating from
and
there.
operating from there and guiding these people from there and telling them what to do and what not to do. You know, it's luckily we were able to catch this network. Had they been able to do what they had planned to do, it would have been a
Disaster in a
big disaster for us.
Disaster.
big disaster for us.
Yeah.
So it's Jammu and Kashmir police which did found out who put those posters out and carried on the investigation. Didn't let it go thinking, oh, it's just a poster, let it go. They went to the depth of it, they were able to prevent this. Otherwise this
Otherwise, it would have become a big
disaster.
national disaster.
I mean, 30 explosive cars with explosives in public places.
Right.
Bigger than Mumbai.
Exactly.
Much bigger than Mumbai terror attack.
Exactly. See, this Maoist terrorism, it has entered to a great level. I mean, maybe you will see the end of it by this year. But the same is not happening in the case of Islamic terror. So what do you think? What are the 3 or 4 steps that need to be taken by the government to end the Islamic radicalization threat in India?
See, the Islamic radicalization is a global phenomenon. It is not limited to India, it is not limited to Pakistan, it is not limited to Bangladesh. You have, Middle East. You have countries like UK.
Yeah, right.
Look at the radicalization there or the appeasement there, right? So this is a thing which you really have to fight on all fronts, not only on terrorism front, but you also have to fight it on cultural front. You have to fight it in information warfare. You have to get your systems right. You have to keep tight on what is being taught and what is not being taught. The biggest problem today is madrasas,
True.
right? What they teach there, we don't know.
Madrasa education.
Yeah, the kind of radicalization which happens. This is already a threat between UP and Bihar. The Terai region, Nepal border is a big threat. So you have Nepal border, you have Bangladesh border, you have Pakistan border. So there is a lot of radicalization. So it needs a policy.
True.
It needs a 30, at least 20-year policy. Radicalization cannot be fought in 2 years or 1 year. Radicalization requires a policy. And that policy has to be unhindered. Then only you can successfully say after 10, 20 years that yes, we have been able to
Contain and curb.
Because containing and curbing is very, very important.
True.
Yeah. So that's how I believe that the government must do. They should come out with a policy, and especially with the madrasas. They have to be very, very careful.
See, however hard we try, there are certain channels, international channels, through which weapons, ideological, funding, everything reaches India. And the same channels are nowadays used by drug cartels also. So can you elaborate something on the relation or the mixing up of these 2 threats? The drug business plus the terrorism.
See, the drug and terrorism are 2 brothers. One cannot survive without the other. They're like conjoined twins. You separate the drugs and finish off the drugs, terrorism will fall. If you look at the drug trade, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, the golden crescent which is known.
Right.
You have on one side, and then on the eastern border you have the Golden Triangle with Myanmar, Cambodia and Laos.
True.
The Afghanistan drug problem has overshadowed. Today, 52% of the heroin in Europe goes from Afghanistan. Right? Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, any terror organ, Al-Qaeda, Hamas, their whole funding comes from drugs.
So actually, terrorist organizations are funding drugs.
Terrorist organizations are the
drug
organizations which basically deal in drugs. They're the biggest drug dealers. They are the ones who have, okay, I'll give you an example. 2 years ago, there was an encounter on the LOC. Right? On the LOC, these two terrorists tried to come into Indian border. Once they crossed, they were challenged, they didn't surrender, they were shot down.
Yeah.
Would you believe they were not carrying weapons, they were only carrying narcotics on them? The weapons were already dropped through drone.
Oh.
Every terrorist which comes from Pakistan is carrying small narcotics with him because he wants to sell it and fund his local thing.
Right.
Haji Salim network is the biggest network which Lashkar-e-Toiba handles.
Karachi-based.
Karachi-based, right. Dawood Ibrahim, everybody talks about. Haji Salim, nobody talks about. 80% of Lashkar-e-Toiba's drug business is handled by this man. If you remember the 2,000 crore seizure which happened off Kerala coast.
Right.
And between Sri Lanka and...
Right. Even yesterday there was a seizure.
Yeah, this was a big seizure. This was Haji Salim's network, heroin which was being, transported, and we caught it. So, Pakistan... How does it support terrorism? They don't have anything, their economy has failed.
Right.
We literally see Pakistan going and begging every month to a country to give them dollars for them to survive.
Exactly.
But how is it that Pakistan economy, which is not able to sustain its people, is able to sustain terrorism globally? It's only because of drugs.
Right.
If, in Central America, we say Mexico is the hub of drugs, or Colombia is, Cuba or Venezuela are drug hubs.
Yeah.
I think Pakistan is the biggest drug supplier in South Asia and it's the biggest global supplier. They supply all over Europe, Australia, America. They tie up with Chinese, right? They tie up with Myanmar and the Golden Triangle as well. So the network is very, very big. And what I really, really found surprising this time is that everybody I spoke to in Kerala is saying there is a huge increase in drugs in Kerala.
True.
Now, let's not forget that Kerala is India's highest literacy rate state as well. People are highly educated here.
Right.
So, if you want to destroy something, how do you destroy? Drugs. You get youth into drugs. You destroy their career. You destroy education. You destroy the society. You let it decay from inside. And then, anybody who is hooked on to drugs is willing to do anything for you.
Yeah.
And then you recruit them into terrorism.
It's easy. It's much easier.
It's much easier.
Right. So that is one element that surprised you in Kerala.
Very surprised that there is a huge... Last time when I was here and when I'm here today, I'm speaking to people, they're saying 100%, 200% increase. In such a short span of time, if there is such an increase, it is not a very good sign.
So you mean that the increase in drug usage or drugs, transportation and usage is directly linked to separatism and terrorism?
Absolutely, because where will this money go, whatever there is? This will go to fund terrorism, this will go to fund extremism, this will go to fund violence. That is where this money lands up. Nowhere else this money goes.
Cool. So very, very scary situation, but we have to end this conversation. So let us keep on, researching more on this and keep coming back to Kerala.
Definitely.
Whenever you can. Thank you so much.
Brought to you by Kerala AIDS Control Society. HIV/AIDS സംബന്ധമായ സംശയങ്ങൾക്ക് 1097 എന്ന 24 മണിക്കൂറും പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന ടോൾ ഫ്രീ നമ്പറിലേക്ക് വിളിക്കുക.
വാട്സാപ്പിലും ഫേസ്ബുക്കിലും ഒക്കെ സ്റ്റാറ്റസ് അപ്ഡേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാറുണ്ടല്ലോ. HIV സ്റ്റാറ്റസോ HIV പിടിപെടാനുള്ള സാഹചര്യങ്ങളിൽ കൂടി അറിഞ്ഞോ അറിയാതെയോ കടന്നു പോയിട്ടുണ്ടാവാം. എന്ത് തന്നെയായാലും മുൻകൂട്ടി പരിശോധിച്ച് HIV സ്റ്റാറ്റസ് അറിയൂ. സൗജന്യ HIV പരിശോധനയും കൗൺസിലിങ്ങും ആരോഗ്യ കേന്ദ്രങ്ങളിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്ന ICTC അഥവാ ജ്യോതിസ് കേന്ദ്രങ്ങളെ സമീപിക്കുക. നിങ്ങളുടെ സ്റ്റാറ്റസ് എന്തായാലും വിവരങ്ങൾ രഹസ്യമായി സൂക്ഷിക്കുന്നതായിരിക്കും.